Hi everybody. Today I want to talk about how the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a women's rights champion. Now, when you mention the word Islam, not a lot of people would associate the words women's rights with it, although that's a huge disservice done to this religion. The first person to ever advocate and call for women's rights in history was not a lady, it was not somebody born in the 21st century, it was a simple man from 7th century Arabia. The first person to ever champion women's rights was actually the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, when it comes to women in Islam, I could go on and on about many things. About how the Prophet was so good to women, about how he gave a woman her full rights and enabled her to be independent, how he gave political voices to women when they were just before that treated as objects that could be inherited down from father to son. I could also speak about how in Islamic ruling, the financial burden is always placed on the man, allowing the woman to keep any money she is generating to herself and not to be put in household finances. And what's even more interesting is that a man is still responsible for his woman's entire needs, including clothing and anything that she might need or want. And then after all her needs are met and she doesn't need anything anymore, her money is still hers to keep as extra to do whatever she wants with it. So subhanAllah, look at how Islam is tutoring men and teaching them to be so generous with their women. Early Islamic scholars have actually said that if men fully understood the rights of women in Islam, every man would wish that he was a woman. Now, let's take a look into the lives of the two main female role models in Islamic history, Khadija and Aisha. So what kind of women were these two ladies? Khadija radiallahu anha was a very skilled merchant. She had trade that spread across Mecca, Yemen, and Syria. She hired multiple employees to take the different trade routes for a wider scope. So in today's terms, Khadija would be deemed an international businesswoman. She had men working for her domestically and abroad. If Khadija was alive today, she would be that kind of woman that you would see on top of Forbes' most famous successful women list. Because this woman conducted trade that measured up to all of Quraysh's trade combined. She ran all of that herself. After she married the Prophet ﷺ, the business was not suddenly called Muhammad's business, it was still named Khadija's trade. It remained entirely hers. So this woman was not somebody who was behind the scenes. She was out there in the market, hiring employees and making a name for herself. That was Khadija radiallahu anha. Now let's take a look at Aisha and who she was. Aisha radiallahu anha was known for her assertive and outspoken character. During a battle in Muslim history, she came out riding a camel, leading the army troops. The Prophet ﷺ granted her authority by telling the Muslim community to consult her in any matter during his absence. After his death, she went on to become one of the most distinguished scholars of her time. So this woman was a stateswoman, she was a scholar, and she was a judge. Aisha was not some silent partner. She was opinionated and she was highly respected in the Muslim community. It's quite unfortunate that some people try to put Muslim women in the silent, obedient wife box. That's not what Islam was calling for at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite. If these two women are the role models that we have to look up to, what are Muslim women supposed to look like today? One of them was an international businesswoman who shattered glass ceilings, and the other one was an academic who taught the entire community. I don't know about you, but this really inspires me and encourages me to be a more productive Muslim woman because I know for a fact that Islam really values my worth and my input in society. I hope that this is an encouragement to you too, and I'll see you all next time.